Hi, my name is Joe Maggio, and I will be doing my presentation over Chef Benjamin Hoffman at House and Hood, which is the restaurant I currently work at as well as intern at. House and Hood have been open for 10 months now. Our first day was St. Patrick's Day, and Benjamin Hoffman withstands the title of sous chef. That is his second sous chef job, his first one being at Sushi Samba. And Chef Benjamin Hoffman has been in the industry for over 12 years. He's now 27, starting at the age of 15 at a local KFC just to make a little bit of money so he can go hunting. He started out shadowing his father in the kitchens, and ever since then he just fell in love with it. He feels as if his hard work is appreciated, and inside the kitchen, you don't need a 4-year degree. You need common sense, passion, thick skin, and you need to understand that it's all about making people happy, the ones that you're serving. In our kitchen, Ben holds the highest food service leader role you can have. He's not the executive chef, but he's a sous chef. And inside our kitchen, that's all that matters. Every single chef critiques the food the same. They all expect the same out of us, whether it be our executive chef, Scott Walton, or our sous chef, Ben. Me personally, as a line cook, I look up to 2 lead line cooks, 6 different chefs. But the thing that makes all 8 of those people food service leaders is they all expect the same food out of us every single time. Personally, I feel that's what is making a food service leader. Is no matter what, you might do it differently, but you expect the same from every single one of your cooks that are cooking for you and getting the job done. We faced many challenges in the kitchen, and I asked Ben what were some of his. He said, keeping everyone's head on straight and making sure the task he was asked to get done that day from someone above him gets done, as well as distributing tasks between all of his hourly employees. This can be very difficult sometimes, especially whenever the prep team or the banquets or the line cooks all have a busy day ahead of them. Some of the joys I asked Ben that he might have, and he says usually a joy is whenever you have a cook that has a bad attitude and you change that attitude, and he looks at everything differently, and his passion starts to grow, or just a cook that isn't that good, but he just works at it and works at it and works at it, and he becomes a really solid cook. Or just a successful service. That's a really great feeling, he said. Compliments are few and in between as a sous chef. Usually you're the one that's complimenting your cooks, so every compliment he gets, he takes very, very, very deeply to the heart, because he doesn't get a lot of them, as well as any of the chefs, because that's just not expected. I asked him the difference between being a line cook and a sous chef, and he said a line cook is different because everyone around you everyone around you can learn from. You can work faster, cleaner, and more efficient. You can learn tricks, ideas, and just ways to just get the job done the best you can. Whenever you're a line cook, you're competing with all the other line cooks to be the best. Whenever you're a chef, everyone's looking up to you, relying on you. If you're not ready, then it will show and you will not survive. Coming up, he said he always tried to overcomplicate everything, add too many things in a dish, and that was silly. He said refining simplicity is the best way to do it. Something that we say in the kitchen very much is it's not about recreating the wheel, it's just perfecting the one that's already there. We all go around, we all try and follow that in the kitchen. He says with a great staff, anything's possible because no one can do it all alone. My next question is, how hard is it to acquire a good staff and want them to stay and cook for this restaurant day in and day out? Ben said finding cooks is easy. It's finding cooks that love what they do and have a passion for food is hard. whenever we opened, we started with over 75 kitchen members, whether it being food runners, line cooks, banquet cooks, prep cooks, everything, dishwashers. Only 15 to 20 of those people are still there, and that's including 6 chefs. I then asked them about stages. How do you know if you should hire a stage? How should you give that stage another chance? He said, if I saw a stage and I pushed him, I put him on the line on the hardest station, and I saw what he can do, and if he did well, then I'm going to give that person a job. And if he didn't do well, but he showed me that he really gave it his all and he loves it, then we might give him a job too. I asked him, how do you go about training us, Ben? He said, whenever I first started and we were first opening, I wanted to cook the dishes and just have everyone watch. But then I realized that was wrong. So Ben uses a technique that is, make it one time for them, let them see it, take notes, let them make it, ask questions, make it one more time, and repeat. That's the best way, and that's what has worked. For motivating, Ben usually will he'll play around with us. He'll either like have a pre-shift meeting and tell us what we need to improve on, and what we did good last night and stuff like that. Or he'll do something that is it's a pretty unique technique, which is, let's say I get 7 orders and the person next to me has 5 orders. He'll say, hey Joe, good job, you just knocked out those risottos. Or he'll say something like, hey Oscar, which is the partner that works next to me, he'll say, well, how come Joe is putting up risottos faster than you're putting up fish tacos? This will trigger Oscar to want to work faster and compete with me, but also make sure all the food's getting put out at the same time. I asked him, what about talking to your employees? And he said, he stressed to me how you have to change the way you speak to the audience you're speaking to. If Ben's talking to just a line cook that's green and young, then he might need to be coddled, but not like a baby, in the way that he will continue to watch over that line cook and make sure he's doing it the way he asked. If he's talking to a lead line cook, he might do it a little bit differently, talk to him like he's talking to another chef, and say, hey guys, this is what needs to get done. I want you to keep up on everyone. His philosophy is a little different than Chef Scott's, but at the end of the day, they all have the same intentions. Ben's philosophy is, if something needs to get prepped out before service, then I'm going to do whatever I can to help out Ben. Scott's philosophy is a little bit different because he's the executive chef and he has to worry about every single chef and not just one chef worrying about the line, and that's what makes it different. Without the whole kitchen being in a good state of mind, service is not going to run well. In the peak of summer, we're feeding 600 to 800 people. If we're not prepped out, then we're not going to be able to do it at all. The last question I asked Ben was, what's the most stressful part of your job? And he said, the kitchen's very stressful, especially whenever you're the chef. The pressure to succeed and make my chefs, owners, and people above me happy is stressful. I have to worry about the public, my staff, the things that need to get done, must get done no matter what. Doing everything in a timely fashion while balancing many different tasks at once is the most stressful job of working in a kitchen. This is a job that Ben loves and he told me he will always do. In conclusion, after interviewing Ben, I really got an insight on what it is like to be a food service manager. Me and Ben have worked together in the past for banquets for 4 months, so I basically knew most of the answers he was going to give me because he would always talk to me about these things as I am a cook coming up to be one day a chef. I thank Ben as well as the rest of my staff for everything that they teach me. Have a good day.